So as you're going through hard things, as you're growing, as you're finding out who you are, you can be growing other people. Do you agree with that? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. You don't have to be perfect yet to bless other people. Can happen at the same time. That's why we're all here. So our next speaker will be joining Amber on the stage. So please welcome with me, Kaitlin Reagan.
First of all, that deserves itself a round of applause. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello. Oh.
There you go. Perfect. All right, I want to start off by you just introducing yourself. Tell us who Kaitlin Reagan is.
So I just want to start this off by saying thank you so much to everybody who is just letting me have this space. It's still a hard year. It's been a hard couple of years, and to talk about these things can be really hard, so thank you in advance. But yes, my name is Kaitlin Reagan. You know, who I am is a great question, because I think that's the fun thing about being 25, about to be 26. I'm still trying to figure that out. What I do know is that I've been through a lot, and I'm still standing, and I just really think that there's a purpose for why I've been through everything that I've been through, and at this point I just want to help people get out of a dark time like I was in.
Definitely. Yeah, that's amazing. All right, why don't you tell us a little bit about when you started social media and how you got into that?
So when I was younger, I was on YouTube, and there's so many things to watch on YouTube. I was a kid, I think I was like 13 years old, and this was before like Instagram came out and pretty much any big platform. And I was just watching this video that I came across of this motivational speaker. I don't remember his name, I just remember that he gave this beautiful speech at this middle school, and it was about like his mom that lost cancer, and he like got up on stage and he just told a story, and he was like, you know, when you go home to your mom, give her a hug, because you don't know what her last day is. And I'm just watching this video, and I'm like, he really just changed my life. Like I want to do this, like at a very young age. And I was just like, I have nothing to tell though. And as I got older, I had this hobby, as my mom over here can back me up on, where after school in Manhattan, I used to stalk celebrities because I wanted to meet like Selena Gomez with all my friends, and I would just like run into them, and it wasn't even about just like getting that picture and like being idolized by them. I was just like, they make me feel so amazing. Like, how did they have that impact? I want to have that impact on other people. And so here we are, social media came about, and I kind of just found myself on there.
Right, definitely. All right, so tell us a little bit about that evolution, you know, where you started on social media, what you were posting, how you kind of grew your brand.
So when I was younger and Instagram just came out, I was Justin Bieber's One Less Lonely Girl. So I started in a very intriguing way. He kind of just posted me on Twitter that night. He would post all the One Less Lonely Girls, and he was like, I had a great one. And at the time when Instagram just came out, I think I had like 5,000 followers, and that was a really big deal. And as I kind of grew older, I was like, I want to do something with this. I have these followers, and I went to college, and I was in Miami, that's where I went, and I started posting like bathing suit pictures, and I was like with all my friends, and I started to gain this following, but in the wrong way. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the following that I had, and I just kind of got stuck in this niche where I felt like I was only good for my body. Like I was just posting a bathing suit, and I was like, this doesn't make me feel good, but I'm stuck.
Yeah.
And then from there, I got asked to be on a reality show, and I was like, maybe this is a good chance for me to show my personality, and I kind of got to like change a lot of my niche from there.
Definitely. All right, then after that reality show, how did you end up rebranding yourself? What is it that you did?
I realized that in order to rebrand, if you don't love who you are online and you're realizing you're trying to be somebody that you're not, you can change that. You might fail in the mix, but it's really worth changing it to be happy with who you are and what, just be you. And when TikTok came about, I got told that, it's a good opportunity to really continue to show my personality and show who I am. And me and Francesco were like, let's try. It was during COVID, and one of our videos hit where we were pranking each other and showing the relationship, and it kind of just took off from there.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us a little bit about Francesco, if you don't mind.
He was my right hand. I dated him for 10 years on and off. In the mix of doing TikTok and being funny, because that's what we originally were known for on the app, just pranking each other, we had like a very deep real life situation that was going on, and at first it was kind of just like, let's show people a little bit of it, because it wasn't that serious. It was just like doctor checkups, and I was like, let's show off that we go to these doctor checkups together, and it's like this ride or die kind of thing. And he was like, let's do that. And from there, we were like, well, we don't want to be that couple that's just like this sad couple. So we tried so hard to fit in with everybody else that looked so happy on the app. And as time went on and his cancer got worse, I was like, ooh, we're having a hard time keeping up with being happy, because we're not. So it's either A, we keep pretending, or we say, hey, this isn't us, and this is who we really are. And it was then that my life changed, because I finally surrendered, and I realized, like, I'm ready to just be me, and he was ready to be him. And we took people on the cancer journey, which had its pros and cons, and the comments are the comments, and people were able to see the beauty in it. And for a while I was like, why are we doing this? Why did we choose to share our story? And I realized that when you suffer so much, you're just desperate to find like something good out of it. And the only thing that was good out of it was changing other people in the process, and giving them people to relate to, so it made it all worth it.
Definitely.
I promised myself I wasn't gonna cry.
You're okay, you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
So now that it's been a little bit over a year since Francesco has passed away, and I'm so sorry again for your loss, you've come out of this so much stronger. You're here today with us. I am so proud of you. You're here speaking on a panel in front of so many other women. You're inspiring. Can you tell us a little bit about what this life-changing moment did for you, and how you got out of it, how you got out of that dark place and, are where you are today?
I think that when it happened and I experienced what I experienced, and I was like, oh, like, he's gone. What now? Like, where do I go from here? My life is done. It doesn't get better than this. Like, I don't even know why I'm even here. And I was like, you know what? Instead of trying to show up to the world, I think it's time to learn how to show up for myself, because I don't even know what that looks like. So I took a year off that I really, really needed, and I think they said it best over there, where sometimes it's okay to just say, hey, I need to go right now. I need to take a break.
Yeah.
And I'll be back when I can, because I can't show up for you guys right now. And if you're there when I get back, it's worth, hoping that you'll be there. But if you can't wait, it's okay. And during that time, I sat down and I was like, what's the best way for me to figure out how to rediscover myself? And I was like, well, first, in order to rebuild and step up and try to get back on your feet, it's like, let's understand everything that just happened to me.
Right.
And so with the podcast, I decided that I'm gonna take a pen, I'm gonna take paper, I'm gonna sit down, and I'm gonna write out everything I just experienced. Our love story, the role of a caretaker. I mean, everything that I heard and saw of somebody suffering that I loved, and I'm gonna tell this story, for me, for just maybe someone out there will help someone, maybe someone can relate.
Yeah.
And so I created this podcast where I decided that since I left them a year prior saying he's passed, I was like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna pick up where I left off, which is telling the story backwards. And I made the podcast starting from the day he passed, and I told it backwards of our whole story, and the podcast changed my life. It ended up hitting number 6 in USA, number 1 in education. So
amazing. Love what you're doing, and it's so great. And to see Kaitlin up here, she's been through so many struggles that some of us will never, ever go through. Some of us will never imagine, but all of you here today are also going through struggles or have been through struggles, and she here is literally a living example of how you can come through this and show up to be a leader and show up and do something to get out of that dark place and actually make a difference in this world. And if you need that break in between, like you mentioned, like Vera mentioned, you totally can, and that's okay. But to come through it and actually do something with it and not just sit in your sit-backs, but actually do something with it, that's where, you know, the real leadership in you steps out. So you're amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the social media side of things. Since you are such a social media rock star, tell us a little bit more about, you know, how to grow on social media, any tips, tricks, anything you have on there, any insights.
I think that it's really interesting, and I have such a beautiful relationship with my followers because we started from, you know, some people are still here from Justin Bieber days, and, you know, just them watching this, they're probably like, this girl is insane. Like, what kind of life is she living? But I think that they've watched, it's like when I run into people, and it goes back to me stalking these celebrities and wanting to meet them so bad, and the impact. I was just in France, and I had a follower waiting for me at the port because I was on a cruise ship, and she's like, I just wanted to give you this necklace. And I'm like, I remember saying when I was younger, like, I wanted to be that person that people were so excited to meet one day. And it's crazy because, like, when I was younger, I was like, but it's such a big dream. I mean, what's the odds? And it's really possible. But in regards to social media, I never stopped being myself. So whether it was, and even to this day, because now I'm in a place where I'm rebranding, because I had my personal brand, and I had me and Francesco, and we had everything very planned out, and everything happened, and now I'm like, well, who's Kaitlin?
Right.
And it goes back to square one, and I'm still trying to figure that out. But I think it's about getting on social media and saying, hey, I don't have this figured out, but join me. Here's day one of trying. And it's just like getting on your platform and saying, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but here I am, is one of the best things you can do.
Definitely.
Because you're not always going to have the answers, and that's okay.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome, thank you so much. I will open it up to a couple of questions if anyone does have for Kaitlin. We'll probably take like one or two, maybe three. So does anyone have a question?
Maybe three. Yes.
Okay. So with coping, right? Grieving, like I said, it comes in waves. It might hit you out of nowhere. It might be, oh, I know that at this time every day it affects me. If you have developed any, what are some ways that you have learned to cope, or to like give yourself that time to feel everything you're feeling, but still pull yourself back up out of it so that you can do things you have to do?
I think when you first experience the grief and you realize, like, hey, like 1 second I'm okay, 1 second I'm not, you feel a little bit weird because you're like, I don't know how to control what's going on. And I think once you realize that you're not in control, it's like, okay, lead me. And when I know I'm not okay, let's actually not be okay. Like, I want to sit down and not be okay. And then when I'm okay, I want to be okay with being okay. And it's kind of just like, I enjoy those moments of like not being okay because I really sit with myself and I'm like, what is my brain thinking? And I think that's the time to really just like sit and observe and learn the most about yourself. I personally, one of my favorite activity to do though is go to the gym. I'm always just like, okay, I'm a little sad. Let's physically, I want to look in the mirror and be like, yes. You know, I have my little things that I like. Yeah.
Great question, great answer. Any other questions that we have for Kaitlin? This is your chance. Yes, Sarah?
If we would like to listen to that podcast, what is it called, and is it something that you add to, or was it just that series?
It's called Let's Talk with Kaitlin Reagan. It's still up. Season 1 is everything of Francesco and I in the story. And then season 2 is kind of like, hey, here's who I am now, and here's come with me as I go, and I'm still doing it to this day.
Awesome. Perfect.
So please come on a journey with me. Yes.
Hi, Kaitlin. I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story. I can't even imagine how hard it is to sit in front of a stage with so many women, some people that you've probably never been met before, and share something like that. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
I guess I just wanted to know, what's your next step? What's your next move?
I sit with myself all the time and ask that question, and I think my next step is I really want to, number one, break the stigma of talking about grief. I think that a lot of people really either fear the conversation or just think that it's just so taboo. And I just felt like going into it and being in that world, I was like, I don't really know if there's anyone out there that has been through this, because there's not enough online about it, or content creators. And I guess my next step is to really just like step into my authority instead of feeling like a freak or feeling like insecure for going through it. Own it and like bring awareness and try to build a community and a movement.
That'd be amazing.
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much, Kaitlin, for making it and being here today. I am going to do a group photo with everyone here. So we are
love
gonna,
that.
yes.
Sisterhood!